Hi, my name is Yaz, and today I'm joined by Riaz, Kurran and Abhi, as we discuss more current issues. So today the current issue we'd like to discuss is differences between cultures and cultural norms. So today in the media I was reading a report about this dog eating festival they have in China, and I was reading what some of the locals were saying about it. And they were saying, for us, this is something that we've done for hundreds and hundreds of years. This is tradition to us. This is culture to us. Why are you coming and trying to stop it? So I'd like to hear your guys' opinions on that. Do you think it's kind of right? Is it wrong? Should we try and stop them from doing it? What do you guys think?
I think that whilst eating dog is quite unusual and it's not something I would do myself, I think as long as it's not affecting people in society and it's not a harm to us, should we really feel it's against us? It's not really our business, is it?
Yeah, I tend to agree with you because every day we eat chicken, we eat beef. Why do we not say anything about these animals being killed every day? Why is it only an issue when it's an animal that we think of in a different light? And why are we asking them to take our opinions on board when in their everyday lives? What right do we have to that?
Well, I think they're very, very good points. But then, of course, us guys sitting here are of that opinion. But there are, of course, many people out there who are vegetarian and who do take those animals' thoughts into consideration and don't eat any animals at all, and don't drink dairy and things like that.
But for these people, surely no one animal is greater than any other. It's surely a line of all animals shouldn't be eaten. And like I raised the example, in some places in India, the cow is sacred, and they would refuse to eat the cow at all. If they came to me and said to me, "Hey, listen, Yaz, we don't eat cow, and we don't think that you should either," should I listen to them, to their opinions, or should I have my own opinions? This is probably the same way that these people in these dog eating festivals are looking at us, are saying, Who are you from across the world to come and tell me what I'm doing is wrong? This is something I've been doing for hundreds and hundreds of years.
So let me ask you guys these questions. If I was to ask you, would you three eat chicken? What would you say?
Say yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah? If I was to say, would you eat beef? What would you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if I was to say, would you eat dog? What would you say?
Maybe.
It's a difficult question because it's not currently part of my normal everyday life.
So a reason I wouldn't eat dog,
Yeah.
personally, would be because of its feelings. Like chickens and cows and pig, for what I've seen, they've not had as many feelings compared to dogs, because we've seen dogs upbringing from ever since we've been on the planet. They've been man's best friend, as we know.
Yeah.
And hence they're very loyal creatures. They listen to what we say. Whatever we say to them, they actually take that on board, and that's how they learn. Whereas chickens, we don't really see them interacting with human beings. Cows, same way. We don't really see them apart from grazing. And that's why I don't see eating them as much as a problem compared to eating a dog.
I think it's too easy to say, they don't have feelings. I mean, I don't think enough research has been done into knowing exactly. I think a study I read that shows that chickens do feel pain, and a lot of these, the way that they're killed is not really the most easiest and pain-free ways.
Yeah.
So I do think they have.
So
they do feel certain emotions.
Yeah.
And maybe not as much as dogs, but I think it's too easy to say they don't have any emotions at all.
So just to say, because dogs are loyal and dogs can kind of understand our feelings and emotions towards them. Is that to say that the pain they feel is any different to the pain a cow or a chicken feels? I don't know. What would you say about that?
So it's interesting you both said this, because I want to ask you now.
Yeah.
So why do you eat chicken when they have feelings?
For me, it's personally because humans, in my eyes, are predators. We survive better with the protein from chickens, and whilst there are vegetarians who can be healthy without the protein from meats, according to my religion and Islam, it's okay to eat chicken, and I follow that.
Exactly that. I think it is obviously a dog eat dog world, if you pardon the pun. And as Riaz said, we are top of the food chain, and so we should eat things. But then a fair question you may raise is why do you not eat dog then? And as Yaz said, I'd probably agree with before. It's not part of our diet, especially here in England, in the Western world. We eat beef, we eat chicken, we eat pork, obviously according to religion and stuff like that. But something like dog or cat or something, I don't know. Maybe there is an animal out there which has more protein and is more beneficial to us, but it's just not normal for us to eat.
Yeah.
And it would probably be frowned upon in society. So, I mean, a lot of things that we do is because of what we see around us, our neighbours, the other people in society. So, if suddenly this whole, town started eating dog and the country was eating dog, maybe you'd start to pick up eating dog.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like it's a question that I've kind of wrestled with quite a lot. Should I eat animals and should I not eat animals? I do think that there's a case to be made for both, but at the end of the day, I don't particularly see any one animal, or I try not to see any one animal above any other. Why a life is a life at the end of the day. If I'm going to see it that way, why would I merit one over another? More than likely, the reason that we see dogs and cats and in different ways is because they're domesticated animals in this country, and we've grown up with an image of them in the media, in films, in TV, as animals that have feelings and emotion are almost human-like in a way. In TV and media, they're often represented as speaking and very lovable characters. Think of your Toms, think of your Jerrys, think of Scooby-Doo. And because of that, it makes it harder for us to not see to see them as just a food source. And on the other side, I'd actually disagree with you guys. I don't think that we particularly need to get our protein from animals. I think there are a bunch of people who have vegan diets who gain all of their nutrients and all their everything they need for a balanced diet from that. Well, I'd say it's probably more inconvenient for them. It's probably more difficult for them. It's probably more of a search. And eating meat is easy. I would agree with Kurran where he says it's a dog eat dog world. Humans are top of the food chain, and therefore because we're superior to other animals, we can kind of have our way. And we do.
Yeah, I think it's a very good point. I think with respect to the obviously the original story you said about China and perhaps dogs being eaten there.
Yeah.
Us here in the Western world, obviously, would probably, as we were saying before, frown upon eating dogs and disagree with it. But with respect to going over there and sort of trying to change the way things are, it's definitely sort of out of our remit, I think.
Yeah.
And it's the same way that many vegetarians in England, in London, obviously, they have their shops, they have their things, but they don't sort of campaign against the meat eaters, just respect each other's views. And
yeah.
I don't know, but then I guess you do get people who feel extremely strongly about it.
I kind of see it the same way where someone is passionate about a religion or passionate about something else. They think what they see is right, and they're coming over to try and convince you for what they believe is your benefit. So I don't take it with ill intent when someone tries to come and speak to me and say, "Hey, have you thought about stopping eating meat?" And I think the first point you made there is actually fantastic, that a lot of people who are vegetarian or vegan kind of do it, and they don't make it their everyday priority to come and talk to you and come and convince you. They kind of live their own lives, and if they're asked about it, they'll tell you. And I think we should as far as possible try and be respectful and tolerable of other people's opinions. We shouldn't be going over and trying to force our opinions on other people wherever we can.
I think for something like this, there is no right answer, and everyone's views on it differ slightly based on their religion, their background, their growing up, and the environment. So, whether someone decides to be vegetarian or someone decides to be a meat eater, that's
a personal decision.
Yeah, personal decision. And
yeah.
I couldn't tell you that being a meat eater is better, or except for that my religion tells me to, or that a vegetarian is better.
So what I find interesting about this topic is, if us looking at the Chinese culture or the Oriental culture, they eat dogs. We frown upon that. Now, in India, a culture that they see, if they see people eating meat, that's frowned down upon. Now, that's something that you see across the world. Every single culture, wherever you're brought up in, the environment that you're brought up in, if you see eating a specific thing as wrong, you're gonna frown down upon it.
Everyone has their own rules.
Everyone has their own rules. It's their own society.
Yeah.
And it's nothing we can change about it.
Yeah.
It's just something we either have to accept or we have to talk against.
Yeah. I guess the point here is to try and be as open-minded as possible, not to only be influenced by your own society and culture, and kind of have an open view and identify that there are differences in people's upbringings that can lead to these kind of views being held, and don't make it a personal attack on them. I think that would hopefully be the solution. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, fantastic. So that's 10 minutes in, and today's conversation has been of a different topic, but I've quite enjoyed it, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it as well. And if you have any comments or feedback, please do let us know below. Thanks.